So we have our tile selection working. We have our player moving, but none of our buttons actually do anything. We can't plant or harvest or do anything like that, which is pretty important for a farming game. So let's get that working. Let's go over to our code here and just make a new tab, and we'll call this action button, and we'll just say X because we're just going to use our X button for action. Again, keeping this as simple as we can. Now, this is where it kind of comes down to personal preference. If you want to put your action button here in the player, or you want to just have everything live over here. I think what I'll do is just make a function for uActions. Sure, kind of making it up as I go. So uActions, and we'll make sure to put this in the update uActions so that we're actually doing this. And what this is going to do is test if we are pushing a button. So if button P for button pressed is X, this will help it not repeat infinitely if we hold it down a little bit too long. Then we're going to have it do stuff. Let's just keep it really simple. And we're just going to switch out the tile, whatever tile it is, for our sprite 33 here, this planted seeds tile. We're going to put some more logic into this here in a little while, but for now, we're just going to tear up anything we want, whatever we're selected. Okay, so sprite 33. So what we're going to do is use mset, that is short for map set. And what this wants is a tile coordinate, which we actually have by tile X, comma tile Y. And then it wants whatever tile you want to put into it, which I already forgot. It's 33. Boom. Save run. And now if I hit the X button, look at that. Oh man, it's putting seeds down. Look at that. This is where it's really being a thing. Look at that. Now we have farming we're doing. So sick. Okay, cool. So that's a thing, but let's put a little bit of logic into this. What we really want to do is test which kind of tile we're over and do different things based on which tile we're over. And we don't necessarily want to select each different sprite. We really kind of want to specify some categories that we might be over. And so, for instance, we have land that isn't planted, and that's going to be planted when we hit X. So let's actually just shift drag on these, and we're going to set a flag. So flags are a good way to just kind of put tiles into a category. So these three, we're going to just do this first flag, flag 0. All right. So let's keep this really simple. If button P X, then let's get the flag. So fget, that's going to get the flag of whatever sprite we tell it to. So if sprite 1 has flag 0, so 22, 0, let's say if fget 22 is 0, then fget. So this is true. We're basically checking to see if this tile has this flag 0, which it does, then whatever tile we're over, we want you to plant seeds on it. Basically, this is dumb. There is no logic here really, but it's setting us up to make sure that this works. And then we're going to switch out this 22 with some fanciness. Okay, save, run. It's not working. Maybe we want to do it this way, equals 0. If 22 equals 0, save, run. There we go. So if that flag on that sprite is 0, which it always is, then plant seeds. In fact, you're going to plant seeds literally everywhere. Everywhere. You can absolutely ruin everything, all right? Because that is always true. fget 22 is always 0. But what we really want to do is test the tile that we're over. So we can use a function called mget, which gets the sprite for whatever tile we tell it to, which again is really convenient because we have tile.x, tile.y. So this goes in place of that 22, but it's actually going to pass in the tile that we're over. So if we're over this one, it's going to give us 8.5. This one's going to be 12.7 and so on. Save, run. Not working. Why isn't it working? Oh, it does work on some of these, but not these. Interesting. Well, let's make sure that things are working just by doing a little bit of debug here. So I'll just copy this, and here in our draw, we'll just say print mget tile x, tile y, save, run. That should give us the sprite. Okay, sprite 33, 34. Yeah, so that's working. Okay, so it's getting the sprite. Let's try this the other way, 0, like this. Save, run. Now it's working. Now I don't know why it didn't work before, but it shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't overwrite anything that doesn't have that 0 flag. These all have 0 flags. All the green tiles have 0 flags, but the blue tiles don't, the orange tiles don't, and the brown tiles don't. The planted tiles don't. So that's good. That's working. Awesome. So now we can add a little bit more options here. So for instance, we could copy this, just select all that, copy, paste, and let's do an else if. Okay. This time we're going to test for flag 1. And what we're going to do is something really tricky here. First, let's actually just mock this up. So 49. So we'll switch this with 49. Okay. So if this flag, which is going to be flag 1, then it should switch to tile 49. Okay, let's see if that works. Save run. So now we have these, and then if I hit it again, yes, it waters it. Good. So depending on what tile is under it and what flag that tile has, it's going to do different things. So now we're watering our tiles. Isn't that cool? Okay, now I don't want to do this same thing over and over again for every progression of this plant, especially if we eventually add more and more plants. That's not going to be great. So what we can do, if we always have the wet tile right underneath the dry tile, there's a difference in their sprite number that's constant. Okay, so 33 to 49, that's 16 sprites difference. Same thing, 34 to 50, it's 16 sprites difference. So what we should do is we can actually grab the sprite real quick. Let's just make a local variable, sp equals, and let's just grab all of that. mget like this, put that there, and then we can replace this with sp. There we go. Okay, replace this with sp as well, like that. Makes our code a little bit cleaner. So it's just passing in sp, which is here for right here. So we're just putting in a variable there, and that's only going to happen within this uActions function, okay? So it's gonna be different every frame. So then we can also take this sp and we can use it right here and do like sp plus 16. And that should go 16 more tiles and bring us to the wet version, all right? So that should happen on all of these. So what we could do is select all of these in our sprite editor here, and let's put a flag 1 on all of these right here. Flag 1, okay, great. Save run. So now we can plant and we can make them water. And now here's the key. If we're over this green one, and this green one, yes, it waters it. Now it doesn't work on the carrots because those don't have that flag, but we can water anything just by switching out that sprite, and it works dynamically. Ooh, that's so great. What a great way to do that, all right? So now, in the future, if we want to, we can add a bunch of progressions of this plant. You know, you could have it all the way across this bottom row and have it 16 days or something, whatever you want. We're just gonna keep it simple. Nice little 4-day progression here, and that's what we'll do. Other thing let's do, let's go ahead and set the flag for these. These are going to be flag 2. These are flag 1, these are flag 2, and then this one's gonna be flag 3, all right? That's just for future goodness, so we can tell what kind of tile this is. And eventually, if we wanna add different crops and everything, we can still have them kind of act in a similar way, right? But this is gonna help us with a lot of stuff later. But we're doing pretty good here. We can plant seeds, we can water them. Anything that's planted, we can water it. And I think we're off to a pretty good start. That's all for today. By the way, if you're new to PICO-8, we have a free PICO-8 Essentials workshop available right here. And if you wanna watch all the videos in this series, there's a playlist right here. See you next time.